Welcome to On the Record, Updates and Echoes, a podcast by the Pocahontas Record-Democrat. I'm Erin Summers. We're sponsored this month by the Pocahontas Area Community Fine Arts Boosters. You can listen to my interview with Boosters President Mindy Wellik in the second part of this week's show. A few weeks ago, in the Echoes portion of the podcast, Sandy Rutherford and I made some jokes about slow news days and how little actual news we found on the front page of one of our newspapers from the late 1800s. But honestly, it's a real nightmare that I have, that I'm going to come in some Monday morning and realize that we do not have enough stories to fill the newspaper. The start of last week kind of had me worrying about that again. I didn't have many events on my calendar and the story list looked a little bit short, but our community always comes through. And we had quite a few interesting stories in this week's papers. The biggest story of the week is the likely closure of Iowa Central's Lorenz Career Academy. Pocahontas County folks, including Tom Grau, John Pullman, and Kurt Syndergaard, pushed hard for Iowa Central's bond issue a few years ago. The carrot that they were offering local voters, a career academy to train local students to take local jobs right there in Lorenz. And now, a few years after it opened, Iowa Central is turning all of its attention to its Storm Lake Center, and it's probably closing the Career Academy in Lorenz. It's a big loss for the community. Over the past few weeks, I spoke with two school superintendents, a principal, a business owner, and our Pocahontas County Economic Development Commission director. The story is long, but it really is worth the read. Speaking of Lorenz, if you're in that city, you'll see a new laundromat has opened up. I went to the ribbon cutting on Friday for Laundry on Main. There's an ambitious and hardworking local couple that has opened up the laundry, and they've also purchased several apartment buildings. Read more in this week's Sun. The Pocahontas County Board of Supervisors decided to take their chances and not increase Sheriff Steve Nelson's wages another $10,000 or so after Nelson had asked them to at a meeting about a week and a half ago. Read why the supervisors made that decision in all three of our papers this week. Pocahontas Area Community High School students take to the stage this Friday and Saturday night with "Help, I'm Trapped in a High School" at the Rialto Theater. I interviewed some of the seniors in the show, and their answers really sold me. I really think this is going to be a great performance. We also have something fun and different in this week's newspapers. It's Newspapers in Education Week, and we commissioned some original artwork from fourth grade students at Pocahontas Catholic School, Pocahontas Area Community School, Lorenz Marathon, and Newell-Fonda. You can see their ads in the newspapers and in this week's advertiser. Please check them out, and please, please, please support the businesses who paid for those ads. The Rolfe Library is hosting a fun program for baseball fans in a few weeks. Timothy Grover wrote a book a few years ago about Babe Ruth traveling through Iowa in the 1920s, as well as other Midwestern states, playing exhibition baseball games. Grover will be talking about his book at the Rolfe Library. I asked him some questions about the future of baseball, which sometimes feels like it's waning in popularity a little bit because it's a slower game than, say, football or basketball. You can read what he had to say in this week's Record-Democrat, and you can grab a chili dog and hear Grover talk in Rolfe at 12:30 p.m. on March 19th. If you pick up all three of our papers, you can read a story about a dog groomer in Emmitsburg who's now looking for clients in Pocahontas County and other area communities. The Paw Spa is open daily and taking clients. In other upcoming events for our area, the Newell-Fonda girls basketball team takes to the court at the Casey's Center on Wednesday night at 5 p.m. to face St. Ansgar in the first round of the state basketball tournament. We'll be there, and I bet some of you will be as well. Up next, you'll hear my interview with Mindy Wellik with the PAC Fine Arts Boosters. March is a busy month for the fine arts events, and she's got a lot to tell you. We did forget to talk a little bit about how to get tickets for the high school play in our conversation, so I'm just going to add that in here. Tickets are available at the high school office and at the door at the Rialto on both nights of the performance. Tickets are $8 for adults and $5 for students. Welcome, and thanks for listening and watching. I'm here with Mindy Wellik. She's the president of the Pocahontas Area Community Fine Arts Boosters. Mindy, thank you for being here with me today.
Hi there.
Why don't you start out and tell me a little bit about the Fine Arts Boosters, what groups you work with, and what all you do to support those groups?
So the Fine Arts Boosters does speech, art, drama. the music, band and vocal, and the mock trial. So for the most part, what we do is we give meals to the different dress rehearsal nights for the play, the musical, and the swing show. We also do all of the uniforms for the band kids, the marching band, and the flags, and the girls' dresses or the guys' suits for the show choir. We do the awards and the medals and the pins for at the awards banquet. Anything else that the teachers request for the kids, and we pay for the tickets for the kids to go to the middle school Adventureland Festival of Bands that'll be in May this year, and we do a fine arts banquet that'll be coming in April 20th is our fine arts banquet, and we pay for the kids' meals for that.
Right. Why is it so important for students to be involved in fine arts?
So I feel that the fine arts gives them a lot of tools that they'll use later in life. From speech and from drama, it teaches them all sorts of goals that they will use in doing interviews, in doing just about anything. And in the future, they can use the tools that they learned from all of these things to be creative,
I always, when I interview kids who are in the fine arts, I always ask them what life lessons they get. And the number one thing I hear is they learn how to manage their time. I mean, tell me, you have a lot of kids who overlap in these. Do you think they're learning some of those just real practical skills sometimes too?
Yeah. Of course. I think a lot of times my daughter is in basically all of them, and trying to keep track of her schedule. I have a Google Calendar, and it's her colors are all in there, and it's crazy the amount of days that she has things, and for us to keep track of when we have to be where, and getting homework done. These kids they're trying to be in everything, which is great. But it's busy.
Absolutely. What are the dates for some upcoming performances? What are some places that the community can come and check out the fine arts programs?
So right now is a really busy time for us. We're just coming off of like state speech, state jazz band, state show choir, but we have this next week is our spring play that the kids are putting on. This year they are doing, let me find my name of it. Help, I'm Trapped in a High School is the play next week. And so then the week after that, we have Tuesday is the mock trial regionals. So we have a mock trial team going to that in Sioux City. And then on Friday and Saturday night is the swing show. And Saturday, if the kids that go to speech districts this Saturday morning, they'll be at state.
Oh, wow.
The morning of swing show also.
That won't be a busy day at all.
Yes. Yeah. We have 5 kids going to the speech competition this Saturday.
And I forgot to ask earlier, but tell me about some of the successes that the programs have had this year. I think you had some of the ratings and stuff that they got this year, right?
So this year the jazz band did really well. They got a 1 rating, which is a superior rating at the state jazz band, and the show choir, they also made it to state, and they got an excellent rating. We took 3 speech large groups, 1 choral reading, 1 readers theater, and 1 improv. They all made it to state in those, and did really well also. So
fantastic.
Yeah, it was really great.
What are some ways that the community can support the fine arts and the fine arts boosters?
So our fine arts boosters, our main, we have 2 fundraisers. So our main fundraiser is that we do the concession stand at the football games. Okay. So all of the home football games, send your kids, get food.
All the snacks.
Yes. All the drinks, all the nachos.
Fabulous.
That is our biggest fundraiser probably. And then the other thing that we do is at the fine arts banquet. If you come to that and buy a ticket, So $5 of your ticket goes to help pay for the kids' tickets because we pay for all the kids.
All right. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you wanted to make sure that we talked about?
So our recap for this year is in the fall we did the band had marching band, and then they did pep band. They marched in the parades. They did the Veterans Day program. The vocal was at the Veterans Day program. We had a Christmas concert. They sent kids to the honor vocal things. We had the musical this fall. It was really fun. They did High School Musical, the musical. It was great and turned out really well.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, I loved it. And then this second semester is always so packed. We had so much stuff, and we kind of talked about all of those. And other upcoming things that are a little bit later than the next 2 weeks that are really packed is we have the art will be going to TLC Art Day. We'll have the solo ensemble contest in May. I think it's May. And then the spring concert is May 1st. That one we'll have band and vocal, and the art exhibits usually all out. So if you want to see those, they're usually all displayed.
All right. That's incredible. There's so much going on. I just think it's awesome. Thank you so much for talking with me, and thank you to the boosters for sponsoring us for the month of March.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you next week.